What's up? What's up? How are y'all doing? You know what I always say, come on in, come on in. Yes, come on in. I have a very special guest today. My daughter, me daughter. Mihiha. See, I wasn't gonna say it correctly, so I didn't want to say it. She know me so well. She know me so well. So everyone, this is my daughter, Shadia. So everyone say hey to my daughter. Go ahead and let me know you're here. Give me a wavy hand. Quan, what's up? What's up? Give me a wavy hand. If you're catching this on replay, #replay. So I finally got my daughter on one of my lives because we were just talking about, and I just made a post about this, right? I was thinking, I read this article about the housing market in New York. And I don't watch news. I feel like anything that the universe or God wants me to know, that is going to come to me regardless. It's been working so far, and it's been years. When I say years, I mean years since I've been watching news. So I seen this article. I went ahead and read it, and it was talking about the housing market in New York City, how the tenants was protected but the landlords wasn't, how they still had to pay the taxes on those buildings and had to do the upkeep and stuff on those buildings even when the tenant wasn't paying the money, right? So we know that COVID happened and a lot of things happened where people were not able to pay their bills. So I think that it's super awesome that the government protected those people, because regardless of what's going on, we still need somewhere to live. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when I was reading that article, I thought to myself, I was like, man, like my last post said, your tribe, if your people are not talking about the future, if the people who you hang around is not talking about how to protect yourself in the future, y'all know what I mean. You need to start hanging around some new people. So the reason why I say this is because I'm also a real estate investor, and I'm in a bunch of real estate investing group. Actually do like real estate investor mentorship. Well, I don't do it, but I'm in a group that has it, right? And I remember last year, this is before they even start talking about the pandemic or anything. Last year, do you know that real estate was preparing for this? They was already having this conversation. They were talking about Airbnbs. Now, I know that some Airbnbs, like if you stay in a house that you're Airbnb out the room, then the government shut that down. Like, hey, you cannot use this as an Airbnb, right? So people was losing money, and I'm assuming that it may have been for, the other houses as well. So one of the things that I realized is that these investors, they were thinking about the future. So a lot of these people, they were saying, okay, Airbnb is good. That's what's happening right now. But how are you going to protect yourself? Because everything that goes up goes down, right? How are you going to protect yourself in the future? So people were saying, hey, you have an Airbnb, but what is your exit strategy? Just like people that have jobs right now, you have that reliable source of income. You have other people paying you, right? But what is your exit strategy? If this doesn't work, how are you going to survive? And a lot of people just wasn't thinking about that. And my daughter and I, we was talking because life is like a chess. It's like chess, right?
Playing chess, you have to think in the future. And that's also how, when she was telling me that story, it reminded me of so I've been sort of about to start like a YouTube channel. I already have like one video and I have some more videos coming. But in the midst of me starting the YouTube channel and stuff, I was also researching the best way to do it, and learning from other people who already had like a successful channel and how they continue that success, and also move it off of the YouTube streaming platform too. And what they were saying was that they use they were talking about Vine. So I know you guys are probably a little bit older, no offense, but Vine was like a really big thing back then, and there are a lot of influencers on Vine. Now, if you know about like Vine basically got up and said it wasn't no longer working for them. They couldn't really make that much money off of it, and they shut down the platform, or they did something to it to the point where all the people who were on Vine just disappeared because they didn't have an exit strategy. Now, what I learned from a lot of people, like from watching them on YouTube and stuff like that, they were saying you need to make sure that your audience is going to be mobile, so that you're able to sort of move them wherever, and you're not ever reliant on a sole platform, because you never know. No matter how big or how grand things look, you have to think 10 steps in the future. And that's how we were just sort of thinking about, like, it really is a chess game. And like, anytime you ever like look at interviews or look at people who have like made it, they always thinking about chess. So
yeah, definitely. And even with the YouTube videos and the content creation, they were talking about, you know how you think that people just put out one video, then the next week put out another video? No, they spend a whole day or a couple of days shooting videos back to back to back, because you never know what's going to happen. So it's like that procrastination killed dreams. You know what I mean? We always wait till the last minute. Oh, well, we'll do it then. Yeah, everyone, right?
Then you wait so long, just like, oh, I don't really want to do anymore. It's like you gotta like start it right now and make sure that, like, you know, especially write down your why at first and then get moving.
Bam, boom. Write down your why.
So your why will motivate you, because like it's easy to have it in your head, but stuff don't always stick there. So, you know, you always gotta make sure, you know, you have something to remind you there. And I'm guilty of that too. I'm not following through on that. So it's a learning process.
Yeah. And as we go through life, I mean, we're gonna learn. But I really feel like in order for you to learn, in order for you to grow, you have to have an open mind. Mm-hmm. And you have to stop telling everybody your business and your plans. That's one of the things that I even tell my daughter. You know, I love my baby, but she be like, Mom, I'm gonna do this. Don't tell me, show me. Show me. I don't want to hear it, because then you put like just expectation, you know, and then if you don't reach it, I'm like, okay, I thought you was gonna do that. So it's like right now it's sometimes too, like me, I'm not a small-minded person, but sometimes you can tell people, small-minded people are people that don't have the vision that you have. Like my daughter, she has vision, and like she creates stuff, and she was like, I'm gonna do this, and I say, baby, just go ahead and do it, because I can't see your vision, but I know that you know what you're doing. I know that it's gonna work all out. So it's like, even in our relationship, what we need for you to do is go ahead and do it. Like when you want to do that new business venture, when you want to start with like a modeling, singing career, whatever. Even the woman, I don't know if y'all heard about the Spanx story. The woman who invented Spanx. Did you hear about that?
I think I remember reading about it, but I don't remember what about it. I know it's something. What is it?
So the story was that the woman who invented Spanx, she actually, and Spanx, if y'all don't know, look like pantyhose, but they don't have like the footies in them and stuff, and it holds females in, right? Mm-hmm. So what she did was she perfected the Spanx, and she did not tell her family about it. She got turned down, as far as different opportunities, like most successful people do. Success is not that. Success is that, you know what I mean? So she got turned down a lot. And what ended up happening is, once she made it, once she was successful, and she told her family the idea, what do you think her family said?
Probably was like, oh, that'll never work or something.
That would never work. Don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, you told your family, and family, we feel like, do have our best interests at heart, and really they do sometimes. It's just that they fear the unknown. You know what I mean? So
everybody can't see your visions, and a lot of times they project on you. And that's just something that, you know, humans, family, friends would do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be out of love, but coming from a place of fear.
Exactly. Yeah. I totally agree. So what if she had to tell her family about the Spanx idea before she even got it accepted, before she even got it, whatever it is, a trademark or whatever that thing is. But she knew, you know what I'm saying? You have to think moves ahead. Life is like chess, people. You have
also,
to.
I think it's important, like, to be able to fail in peace and not have anyone like, oh, I told you so. Like, you're not gonna get on the first time, and that's like a really big thing. Like, be able to fail and learn from that, and not have people like just like iron you. And depending on the people you have around you, it's gonna differ, of course. But like, just fail in peace, and as long as you have to know yourself enough to be able to take whatever is thrown at you, So, like, I feel like it's negative people, sometimes they can help you become stronger, because once you are able to block that out, you can block out anything.
I agree. I think what we have to do is we have to get comfortable with the no's in life.
Get comfortable with failure, because a lot of people fear failure. I know in my generation, if you ask the majority of what we fear, because a lot of times we have to write papers on this stuff, and it's the most reoccurring thing and the most common thing is failure. And it's just like, how can you fear failure when failure is like your greatest teacher? So, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, when you fail stuff, number one, what to do, what not to do, what to tolerate, Yeah.
And also we have to like redefine like what failure is, and like how we go about looking at failure, because a lot of times it can be looked down upon, but it really shouldn't.
Yeah. And I remember a quote saying that you don't truly fail until you quit.
Yes. Or even if you don't start, because sometimes the fear of failure can be so great that it'll keep you from starting things. And I speak from experience from this.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think I did a video the other day when I said sometimes, we listen to that second voice, that second thought. And when we pray and we ask God, we ask the universe for something, we get that thought, we get that inspiration, and then we say, man, I can't do this, or I'm not going to be good at this. That second thought comes right in. But I remember that older man told me, he said, you always go with your first thought. You always go with your first thought.
Say this in school too. Don't second guess yourself, because like I'm gonna tell you, on them tests and things, go with your first thought. If you think that's true, then it probably most likely is, if you don't know yet. So a lot of stuff applies to just life in general. So
yeah, totally agree. All right, y'all. Well, before I go, did you have anything else you wanted to say to the people?
I don't think I do. Thank you for having me.
Definitely. Thank you for coming. All right, my hat. But yeah, so thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. We were just giving you a little piece of the conversations that we have here. And definitely more to come, because I feel like you should always talk to your child. You should always talk to the younger people. By the way, my baby, she just graduated last year, 18.
Well, it was this year, actually.
Oh, this year. My apologies.
Last
school year.
Last school year, but this year. It was only a couple months ago.
What does that mean?
It's less than 5 months ago. Maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. So, yes.
In July.
Was it July?
You walked in July.
Okay, yeah, July.
She walked in July. So, yeah. So we always have these inspirational conversations. So anytime we do, we'll go ahead and pop on here just to let y'all know what we're thinking about. And drop in the comments any type of suggestions, opinions. If you all agree with what we're saying.
Discussions, like comments. You disagree, let's talk,
Yeah. And I'm definitely open to it. I mean, anybody who's been following me for a long time, one thing I always say is respect the other person's opinion on
perspective, because really it can be a gold mine to open your eyes to, like, yeah, I never thought about it like that. So definitely open us and like let us grow with you guys.
Definitely, I definitely agree. So thank y'all for giving us a piece of your day. We really appreciate it. love, peace, and that coconut oil hair grease. All right, see y'all later.
See ya.